All right, if you're an entrepreneur, you already know this. Success brings a whole new set of problems. So today, we're going to tackle a big one. What does it really take to go global? We're going to break down the whole process of setting up an offshore company, but we'll do it by following the journey of one founder who's been there, done that.
And this quote, this really hits home, doesn't it? From entrepreneur Ahmad. I was paying high corporate taxes which were eating into my profits. It's that feeling, right? You work so hard to build something and then it feels like you're being penalized for your own success. It's a major frustration, and it can feel like your growth is suddenly hitting a brick wall. And that's really what we're talking about here. What you could call the entrepreneur's dilemma. You know, you solve one set of problems to get your business off the ground, only to find that your growth has created a whole new, even bigger set of challenges. So, what do you do?
So let's look at how this played out for Ahmad. His story is pretty incredible. He started an e-commerce company in a Tier 2 city in India, selling plants online. He got the business stable, found his footing, and then, boom, he expanded to a 55-person team in just 4 years. That's some serious growth, and as any founder will tell you, that kind of speed is where the growing pains really start to kick in.
And yep, you guessed it, with that growth came a whole new world of headaches. Suddenly, he's not just the plant guy anymore. Now he's dealing with super complex taxes, a tangled web of compliance rules, and just the massive challenge of trying to run operations in different countries. It's a whole different ballgame.
So that's the million-dollar question, right? What was the solution? How do you handle all this new complexity without killing the momentum you worked so hard to build?
Well, this is where the story takes a really interesting turn. The search for an answer led him down a very specific path, what we're calling the offshore solution.
So what did he do? He talked to other entrepreneurs, people who'd been in his shoes, and the answer that kept coming out was to open an offshore business. Now, this is key. It wasn't about ditching his home market. Not at all. It was about building a separate international structure that could actually support his global expansion. Okay, but going offshore sounds complicated, right? It's not like flipping a switch. You absolutely need the right partner to guide you. So Ahmad did his homework and put together a list of providers. Let's walk through who he looked at, because this is where you can really see the differences.
First up, coming in at number 1 on his list was Gryffin Capitalist.
And looking at their stats, you can see why. They build themselves as a one-stop shop for small and medium-sized businesses. That means they handle pretty much everything for you. Think about it. If you're a founder already juggling a million things, having one company that can manage it all across more than 35 locations, that's a massive plus.
All right, next on the list is Fast Offshore. Their big thing? Experience. And in this line of work, where trust is everything, having a long track record really matters.
You can see they specialize in all that tricky back-office stuff. Regulatory, bank accounts, the whole setup. And they operate in some key places, like the BVI and RAC, that's in the UAE. These are popular spots for a reason. They're known for being really business-friendly.
Number 3 is Ondemand International. What's cool about them is they kind of have a similar backstory to Ahmad's own company. They also started in India, but now they're playing on a global stage.
And their focus is a little different. It's not just about company formation. They also handle things like immigration and international transactions. A big piece of their puzzle is using tech to make that whole expansion process smoother for their clients, and they've got a ton of them all over the world.
Now, let's shift gears a bit for number 4, GWS Offshore. These guys have carved out a specific niche. They're really targeting investors and bigger startups who are focused on things like managing assets and protecting privacy.
So their services are all about the heavy-duty financial stuff. Offshore setups, trusts, serious tax planning. And it makes sense that they're headquartered in Dubai and RAC, putting them right in the middle of a huge global finance hub. That's a big draw.
And rounding out the top 5, we have Euro Company Formations. Their whole vibe is about customization and support. And like some of the others, they've been around for a while, so they really lean on that experience.
They've been in business for over 22 years, based in Ireland but serving over 30 countries. What's interesting is how they package their services into different plans, gold, silver, bronze, so you can kind of pick and choose the level of support you actually need.
So, the big reveal. After weighing all these options, who did he go with? He chose Gryffin Capitalist, the first one on his list. That was the partner he decided to trust with the next chapter of his business.
Okay, so that's Ahmad's journey. It's a great story, but let's bring it back to you. What does any of this mean for your business? It really comes down to a fork in the road, doesn't it, for any business that's growing? You can stick to the domestic path,
It's what you know, but it can come with higher taxes and all kinds of local operational headaches. Or you can explore the offshore path. This is all about tax optimization, streamlining your global operations, and just making international expansion easier. Look, neither one is automatically right or wrong, but they lead to two very, very different futures for your company.
So at the end of the day, this explainer isn't just about a list of companies. It's really about a single, important question you have to ask yourself. When you look at your own business, your growth, your challenges, your biggest ambitions, is global expansion the right next chapter for you? That's the real takeaway here.